Try it yourself, adding animated elements to improve user experience. At this point in your training, you already have all the tools necessary to add whatever graphical interactions to your web forms that you want. The purpose of this try-it-yourself exercise is to give you an idea of some of the things that you can do with those tools. This example is a very basic registration form, but includes select, styled radios, and checkboxes and some other form effects. The code is designed to give you a chance to see several techniques in the same example by using the smallest amount of code. The solution files are found in the book's Code Listings archive in the Hour 13 folder. The operative file name here is Hour 1303. I have Hour 1303.html loaded up, and without any further ado, let's open it in the browser. Initially, the registration form simply appears as a banner. If we hover our mouse over it, it drops down, provides some interactivity. We can then complete the field, filling in the text fields. Then I can choose a class. Obviously, this is based on a role-playing game. Note that when I mouse over here, the weapons become highlighted. I can choose horse or armor, and you'll notice that those images expand. I can provide additional comments if I want to, and then finally submit. So there's quite a bit of user-friendly bling, so to speak, going on in that form. The HTML file is a basic form. You do need some graphics if you want to follow along here. You'll notice that we have down in line 25 and 27 references to horse.ping and shields.ping from the source files in the images folder, so keep that in mind. The CSS file in this case is pretty substantial, as you would expect. We have a few intermediate selectors that are based on attribute values. The CSS styles the radio inputs to look like buttons by hiding the radio and showing only the label. A similar technique is used for the checkbox that displays an image instead of the checkbox control. In the JavaScript file, let's minimize the Project Explorer to give ourselves some more room. We have our ready function down here on line 15. To implement the handlers, such as in line 16, we hide the form and then slowly show it as the user clicks the header, and then we hide when the form is submitted. In lines 19 and 20, we have some animation for resizing that text area element when it's in and out of focus. Up in line 8, change radio, we have a handler for when the radio inputs change. This handler animates the opacity down to 0.1. Then when it's complete, it changes the class to a darker color and animates the opacity back up. This gives the appearance of clicking the button. With the CSS style, this makes the radio input group act like a button bar. Scroll up here. Beginning in line 1, the change checkbox function. That handler kicks in when the checkboxes are clicked. The handler animates changing the size of the image border and opacity, giving the element a visual indicator of whether the character has a horse or armor. Line 24, we have some lines that attach a handler to the text inputs, such that as the user types, the labels are replaced with the text content. Lines 26 through 31 animate the submit button. The size is up as it's focused or hovered over with your mouse. And speaking of which, on line 32, let me scroll down a bit here, we have a mouse over handler option element that animates a font size increase as the mouse hovers over them, giving users a better idea of what they'll select. Quite a few moving parts in this exercise, but I think it gives you a great springboard for designing forms with creativity and user-friendliness in mind.